We are tracking several tropical waves out there. I want to track these, one here, another one coming off the coast of Africa. A lot of dry air out there, though, which has been a good thing to help kind of limit some of that development. I'd like to pass along some good news, especially this time of year, but also watching heavy areas of rain near the Bahamas, especially the northern Bahamas back through Florida. I'll cover the rain totals, and then we swing back toward the Western Caribbean. This is where we could get some development as we go over the next week or so, and I'll highlight that for you and show you that in just a moment. So here we are in the Caribbean. Here's that old tropical wave. This will enhance some of our showers and storms as we go throughout the week back through Puerto Rico, the U.S. British Virgin Islands, even Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, back through Haiti and the Dominican Republic. This big blob here, keep an eye on this. It looks impressive. There is a lot of rain with it as of now. It should be weakening, though. It's going to run into some dry air, but know that I'm monitoring that as it approaches us in the Caribbean. Another tropical wave moving off, but at least in the short term, there's a lot of dry air out there that these tropical waves are running into, preventing, at least in the short term, some development. Watching those pockets of rain I just mentioned, watching a few back through parts of northern Venezuela, northern Colombia. There's some of the heavier rain overnight from El Salvador back toward Guatemala. Been watching Providencia, San Andres, parts of Mexico. The Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico will get more active, and we'll get some scattered storms. Jamaica, back through the Cayman Islands, and back through Cuba. Here's that pocket of heavier rain. These old fronts, little unusual pattern for this time of year. The fronts have been dipping down and then just kind of hanging out northern Bahamas back through Florida. Heavy rain over the next few days. 4, 5, 6 inches of rain will be a possibility. Now, monitoring the water temperatures, everything going on in the atmosphere. I mentioned some of the dry air. These water temperatures are so very warm. They've actually been warming up. Look around Jamaica, back through the Cayman Islands and Cuba. We're running around 31 degrees Celsius, pushing 90 degrees Fahrenheit. With that said, this area, the Caribbean Gulf, even much of the Bahamas, relatively untouched over the last couple of months. That has allowed those temperatures to really warm. It is summer, so that also helps. But again, there hasn't been anything moving through. So if we get anything in this area, it could strengthen quickly. But I'm not seeing that as of now. Just kind of keeping an eye on things as we go down the road. So let me show you what we've got going on. Here we are in the Caribbean Gulf, Bahamas, back through the U.S. Here's Bermuda. Here's all this heavy rain here. Here's that spot we're watching, that blob out in the Atlantic. And this is the area I just want to keep an eye on from Jamaica back through Belize for the potential of some development. Models are hinting at that, and I see that as well in the environment. We're going to see a big buildup of rain. So let me just shoot here ahead in time. This is into the upcoming weekend, and then this here is a week from now, just to give you kind of a glance at what I'm looking at ahead and what we'll be tracking together in each video this week. You could see what happens a week from now. Look at this rain building as we get back through the Western Caribbean, and then 2 strong tropical waves. I mentioned mid to late month, it is going to get more active. This would be a week from now, so as we get into mid-month, we are going to see some development out of a couple of these areas, especially off the coast of Africa. Now, with that said, there's still going to be some dry air, so hopefully some of that wins out, but there's going to be stronger tropical waves coming off rather soon. And then just keep an eye on this area as it lifts to the north. Anytime you get a big area of rain developing, we'll see if this does develop, but this is the area we're really going to watch video by video as we go throughout the week ahead, just since that's close to home. Not that we're going to see development definitely in this area, but it does have my attention for the possibility of something just trying to spin up closer to home. Shorter term, watching the rain and storms, and by the way, I want to show you Kiko in just a second, but watching some heavier storms, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, spotty as we work our way through the Eastern Caribbean, St. Lucia, Trinidad, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then you see some of the rain and storms here. Still Haiti and the DR watching the storms. That other tropical wave kind of slides in for us, so we'll watch spotty storms, Dominica, back through Anguilla, and there's some of the extra rain as we get back toward the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and I'll zoom up to the north, back toward the U.S., a couple bigger systems that will be sliding by for the week ahead, and then you see on Wednesday, still those scattered areas of rain and storms, Puerto Rico, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and then we'll see as we go throughout the week, this area right in here, we'll start to get some of that rain building. I'll be fine-tuning that where we could see some flooding and the possibility of some tropical development as the week goes on. Now, swinging over here, then I'll zoom up to the north. I do want to show you this. Here is Kiko. It should pass to the north of Hawaii, as we've been talking about for the last several days. So here's Hawaii as we work our way into early tomorrow. A weakening system, a weakening tropical storm at that point, passing to the north. More in the way of marine interest. Those swells have already been moving in, so some higher higher seas with it. And you see the core of winds weakening. We're going to see a lot of weakening as we go throughout the day today. See those reds, winds at about 70 miles per hour, but then they start to fall apart as we go out in time into tonight, and then early tomorrow we get that weakening trend. There'll be gusts well to the north of the Big Island, around 50 miles per hour, but that area continues to weaken as we work our way into Tuesday night and early on Wednesday, but all on track to pass just to the north. You see it here, a hurricane now, winds right now at 100 miles per hour, but that's going down. Yesterday at this time, it's around 120 miles per hour, and then passing to the north of the Hawaiian Islands. All of the modeling seeing that as well, a weakening system that will pass to the north, and you see that weakening trend in these models. This is a day out, 2 days out, quickly weakening as it approaches the Hawaiian Islands, and that means the core, not only of some of the winds, but the core of heavier rain would be substantially off to the north of the Hawaiian Islands. Now here are these fronts that are hanging around, and you can see it here back through the northern Bahamas, watching southern Georgia, back through Florida, some really heavy rain. I'll show you those rain totals in a moment. This system kind of pivots its way, kind of hanging along the coast, but we get some of that moisture trying to lift up toward the Avalon Peninsula, and then we get a couple new systems moving in. Again, the rain here, even parts of North Carolina and South Carolina, especially along the coast, coastal Georgia over towards Sea Island, and then you see back through Ontario and Quebec and back through the Great Lakes over toward Wisconsin, Michigan, some additional rain. Could get a couple thunderstorms with that as well. And then look what happens here as this moisture kind of lifts to the north, watching Cape Cod back through the mid-Atlantic for some heavy areas of rain by the time we get deeper into Wednesday. But still these fronts kind of lingering with some of that moisture back through the Bahamas. A little buildup of rain over toward the foothills in the Rocky Mountains with some thunderstorms as we work our way into the middle of the week. So the seas here along the southeast U.S. are going to stay elevated. Get a bit of a chop in the central Caribbean, nothing too crazy, but just watching north of the Bahamas and the elevated seas with that front and that moisture that will be hanging around. And you can see it right in through here. We swing back toward the northern Bahamas, Freeport, swinging back toward parts of Florida. So we're looking at anywhere from about 4 to 6 inches of some rain for 3-day totals, 100 to 150 millimeters of rain, pockets of heavy rain. Cuba, Jamaica will still have some scattered storms, hit or miss Cayman Islands, but Haiti and the Dominican Republic, where we get some thunderstorms, very quick runoff. We've had some issues with those river crossings with some substantial rain, over 100 millimeters of rain. Scattered storms, Puerto Rico, British and U.S. Virgin Islands. That old little tropical wave will be working in Tuesday to Wednesday. So St. Eustachio, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin. We'll get some spotty showers in Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, from St. Bart's, even down through Montserrat and Guadeloupe. Hit or miss showers. Dominica South, kind of spotty in nature. While it's not widespread, we could still get even a couple thunderstorms around, so just monitoring that. Not as much Suriname, spotty in Guyana, while watching Venezuela for some showers and storms, but still some of that extra rain. Guatemala and El Salvador, even the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, Belize, Honduras, our rain chances going up. Scattered areas of rain and storms back through Belize, and you see throughout much of Mexico some heavier rain. Extreme South Texas as well for some of that rain. You see Corpus Christi, that chance of getting some of the rain back through Brownsville, and then right along the coast, you see here very close to the coast, coastal Georgia, coastal Carolinas, for that chance of some heavier rain. So Jamaica, we have a 50% chance of some scattered thunderstorms as we go throughout the day. Tomorrow we'll be up to a 60% chance, 30% chance the next 2 days. Today, tomorrow, into Wednesday in the Cayman Islands, we're looking at a 40% chance. Now, as we go through the week, the rain chance is going to build some. I mentioned some spotty showers possible today, Trinidad and Tobago, but a bit higher by the time we get into Wednesday. Barbados, rain chance only 20% today, a 30% chance tomorrow, and then we'll be up to about a 40% chance by the middle of the week in St. Lucia. Slightly better chance of a few showers around. Grenada, 30% chance for today and tomorrow, 40% chance on Wednesday. We do that again. St. Vincent and the Grenadines midweek, just a bit more active. 20 to 30% chance in Martinique, 30% chance today in Dominica, but a 40% chance tomorrow. And again on Wednesday, monitoring a little bit of lightning. Could get a couple thunderstorms around Guadeloupe tomorrow and Wednesday. Rain chance at 40%. Antigua and Barbuda with the tropical waves sliding in. Rain chance tomorrow. It's going to be up for us to a 50% chance, a 40% chance by Wednesday. Same thing, bumping up some Tuesday and Wednesday. Tomorrow and Wednesday, St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, rain chance will be higher. And we'll be up to about a 60% chance, at least some passing showers tomorrow in Anguilla and St. Bart's. A 40% chance by Wednesday. We do that again. St. Martin, St. Eustachio, rain chance will be a bit higher tomorrow with a tropical wave moving in, and a 50% 50% chance tomorrow and Wednesday. Goes up some in Puerto Rico. Scattered thunderstorms will be possible, monitoring isolated areas of flooding, and you see up to a 40% chance U.S. and British Virgin Islands as we go throughout the week ahead. The Bahamas, again, northern Bahamas especially, that's where we'll have some heavier weather that will be around. Turks and Caicos, rain chance 30% the next few days. Now, the Dominican Republic and Haiti, not all of us get the rain, but these are big-time storms, right? The runoff, the flooding, the mudslide potential, staying active, a 40 to 50% chance through at least the middle of the week. Belize, our rain chance bumping up, scattered areas of rain, scattered areas of thunderstorms, about a 40% chance favoring southern sections. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire running at about a 20 to 30% chance today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. 40 to 50% chance of some scattered showers in Guyana. We work our way back through Suriname. The rain chance pretty limited, just about a 20 to 30% chance. Scattered thunderstorms staying with us the next few days right across Cuba, Costa Rica, Panama. Rain chance trends down some still. Watching out for some of that flooding around, no doubt. Nicaragua, 50 to 60% chance, and building some in Honduras by Wednesday will be up to a 60% chance. 70% chance there's been flooding around Guatemala and El Salvador. Watching out for an active pattern. Mexico City, some of that rain starting to build back in. And scattered thunderstorms, Campeche, Merida, Cancun, Cozumel, East Coast, North Coast, over toward the west coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. Watching out for some scattered areas of rain and storms. Northern Colombia, 50% chance, about a 50 to 60% chance in northern Venezuela. And Bermuda, isolated. Watching out for a couple showers that could be possible. So tracking those tropical waves in the Atlantic, of course, that dry air has been around. Watching the Western Caribbean, again, from Belize back through Jamaica, we should see a buildup of rain later this week and by the weekend. Going to monitor for any signs of development. Getting more active, but still watching that dry air out there in Kiko, weakening out there in the Central Pacific, the Atlantic Basin, the Atlantic, the Gulf, and the Caribbean. The next name on the list is Gabrielle. So thank you for being with me, and I hope you have a great start to the week.